video is all about minimalism from the perspective of an ex-hoarder. So I'm definitely not perfect. This is just a journey. Minimalism is not about perfection or about having a capsule wardrobe overnight, but this is just about me sharing my journey with you guys and what's worked for me and what will hopefully work for you. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Melinda. Today I want to show you guys my tips on what I've learned from watching 1,000,001 videos on YouTube about minimalism and just kind of my personal favorites and which ones have helped me the most. But today I mainly want to focus on clothing and shoes because that is the area where I have personally struggled the most, so that's where my tips are going to kind of be centered around today. All these tips have personally helped me as someone that struggles with constant shopping for fast fashion and thrifting, and then getting emotionally attached to items and not wanting to really let go of them, or someone that kind of struggles with decluttering. So jumping right in, my first tip is to do a no buy. And while this might be an obvious tip to some of you may not have thought of it. So I challenge you to do a 1 month no buy. And basically all this is you're not going to be buying any items for an entire month. So you can kind of set the parameters on that. For me, I'm buying nothing as far as like beauty related. No makeup, no nail polishes, hair care, clothing, anything like that. I'm not going to be purchasing this month. And I would challenge you, even if you think like, oh, I really need this, I have to buy it this month, I'm running out, whatever the reason may be, wait the 30 days and buy it after, and you may find that you don't need it anymore. I'm actually in the middle of my own no buy right now, and as someone that's very competitive and I really enjoy challenges, this really helps me to kind of challenge myself to not purchase anything for a set amount of time. Mine is for 30 days, and I think that's a good place to start. But yeah, so if you're like me, this could be a good way to just kind of help you reduce the amount of things you're bringing into your life for the next 30 days. I don't know about you guys, but once I've purchased an item, I get very emotionally attached to it, and then it makes it harder for me to declutter it. So the best way to kind of prevent this whole negative cycle from happening is to just reduce the amount of items I'm bringing into my house in the first place. So that is kind of where we need to start with living more minimally, in my opinion. My second tip, it's kind of more of an idea that I had. It kind of dawned on me one day as I was trying to declutter my wardrobe, and that is that I believe that hoarding comes from, I'm saying hoarding very loosely, just the idea of holding on to items, and it's like more difficult for us to get rid of items for whatever reason that may be. But I believe that this hoarding tendency comes from a poverty mindset, or just kind of a mentality of lack. I challenge you to get rid of whatever these items in your life may be, whether it's shoes or clothes, or honestly this expands to any area of your life, but those kind of just in case items, definitely declutter them, and I promise you, you will have the money when the time comes, whenever you will actually be needing that item. Or if you don't, you can always borrow it from a friend. So don't think that the money won't be there, you won't be able to get it in the future. I don't believe that that will be the case. And in the meantime, you can live more clutter-free and more minimally. So that ties into my tip number 3, which I already said a little bit, I kind of hinted at it, is to get rid of those just in case items, like I said. So definitely donate those, give them to friends that will use them, someone that will use it right now, whereas you're just maybe using it once a year or whatever it may be, or if you haven't used it. So the just in case items, the ones you're not using daily, go ahead and declutter those. Tip number 4 is to get rid of those near dupe items. And by that I mean the items that you kind of settled for because maybe they were on sale, or maybe you just couldn't wait it out to find that exact match of what you were looking for. I do this frequently when I'm shopping or when I'm thrifting. I tend to like to thrift or try and thrift fast fashion items, and what typically ends up happening is I have 3 or 5 pairs of mom jeans, and none of them are really spot on perfect what I was looking for, and they may have only been $5 each, but I could have spent all that money towards one perfect pair that I'm actually going to get more use out of, because I tend to not wear the items that weren't exactly what I was looking for. So when I thought I was saving money on a $5 pair of jeans from the thrift store, I was actually wasting that money, and then I continued to make the same purchase over and over again because the first pair didn't quite make the cut. So get rid of all those duplicate items that are close to what you want, but they're not spot on. And you can even take them to a consignment shop that will pay you for your items, and you can take that money and reinvest it into the actual item that you wanted from the beginning. And it may be a little bit more, but it's worth it because it's exactly what you wanted and you're gonna get more use out of it. Tip number 5, sorry, the sleeve keeps falling. Tip number 5 is I found myself saying that I was gonna keep an item because I was still getting use out of it. And while that was true, I still didn't necessarily need the item. So for example, I have about 20 different t-shirts that I will rotate through and continue to wear to bed, but I'm wearing them because I have them and not because I need them. So I could take that collection down to about 3 t-shirts and just rotate through those instead. So just because you're wearing them doesn't mean you necessarily need them. So definitely have that mindset and kind of reevaluate, am I wearing these because I need them, or am I wearing them just because they're here, they're available to me, and I can wear them? Tip number 6, and this one helped me so incredibly much, it's not to buy items for your ideal self. I know in fashion we can tend to be adventurous and want to try new things, and while that's amazing, don't buy things that are so far out of your comfort zone that you're never going to wear them. So whether you want to maybe appear more sophisticated or more laid back, you want to do more of a comfy style or more of a punk rock type of a style, if that is so far out of your comfort zone, and if that's like so much of a stretch from what your current style is, you may not get as much use out of that item as what you intend when you're purchasing it. So for me, that was high heels. I wanted to be the girl that could dress up any outfit with a pair of heels and maybe a dress. And I don't wear dresses, I don't wear heels. I prefer comfort, coziness. I prefer roomy, big, just like cozy clothes. So for me, I am not going to get a lot of use out of those items. So stop buying items for your ideal self and buy items that are unique to you and your personality and your style. Don't buy it because someone else is wearing it and it looks great on them. Buy something because it's comfortable, you feel confident in it, and you're actually gonna get a lot of use out of it. And go ahead and obviously declutter those items that are not serving you right now and that are kind of for that ideal self that you wish you could be, or whatever it is. So again, that's not to say that you can't play around with different fashion trends and different styles and just experiment with your own style and with your wardrobe. Absolutely go for it, but just don't make it a big habit of continuously buying items that you know you're probably not going to wear. Tip number 7 is if you're really gonna regret decluttering it, then don't. This is not that big of a deal. You don't have to make this drastic change overnight. You don't have to declutter everything. You don't have to have a capsule wardrobe right now, and you don't have to be a minimalist in 2.5 seconds. Like, it's really okay, I promise you. You can allow a few things to kind of make the cut on this declutter and then circle back around to it in a few more months or in a month when you want to do another declutter. And if by that time you still haven't gotten much use out of the item, then you might feel a little bit more peace about letting it go at that time. I've definitely done that a lot. I've let a few things kind of slip through the cracks and I've held on to them. Then I still haven't worn them literally a year later, and I'm like, okay, I think it's really time now, and I get rid of it and I feel totally fine about it because I held on to it. I really gave it a chance and I still wasn't getting the use out of it that I wanted to. But that being said, don't take that as an okay to hold on to everything. Definitely declutter things that are not useful to you and that are just adding stress and anxiety to your life rather than making it better. Oh, and I do want to say there have also been times when I've held on to something and I didn't declutter it the first time around, and I ended up reaching for it and I paired it with a different outfit, or I styled it in a different way, and it became one of my favorite kind of accessory pieces, or whatever. So you may end up circling back around and loving that item. So if that happens, that's totally okay too. And so yeah, don't declutter the things that you're not 100% sure about. Give yourself some breathing room, give grace to yourself. Like, it's okay, this is not an overnight microwavable minimalism. Like, just breathe. You can keep a few more things. Okay guys, that wraps up this video. That's all my tips that I have for you today. Definitely feel free to leave your best tips in the comments so you can help us with maybe something we haven't thought of yet, and we can all just become more minimal together. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're interested in more content like this. I definitely intend on creating more things as I'm kind of growing and developing in this journey to being more minimal. So yeah, that's all for today. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.